Good afternoon. Good afternoon. May I have your attention? How about one last round of applause for our pianist, Rory Bolton? Didn't he do a wonderful job? I hope you all enjoyed lunch. It was very good, yes? Yes? Good, good. We'd like to begin the formal portion of the program now, but I do invite you to continue enjoying your coffee and dessert. Once again, we're thrilled to have so many of our alumni, campus partners, and Redbird friends with us today. Thank you for joining us for Illinois State University's homecoming, especially this year as we celebrate the 150th anniversary of the Alumni Association. Now I'm pleased to introduce to you someone who may be a familiar face and voice to many in the room, our Master of Ceremonies for today, Mr. R.C. McBride. R.C. has been affiliated with Illinois State University for many years, beginning as a student in the School of Communication and now serving in the role of Director of Trademarks and Licensing for the university. R.C. is known as the radio voice of the Redbird women's basketball team and has been a television commentator for the Missouri Valley Conference for 10 years now. He is a 1999 graduate, a fellow member of the Illinois State University Alumni Association, and a Redbird through and through. Please join me in welcoming Mr. R.C. McBride.
Thank you, Doris, and it gives me great pride to be part of the Redbird family, and I'm also very pleased to be with you here today to participate in Alumni Day, which is a very important part of our annual homecoming celebration. This year, we're celebrating a very special anniversary of the Alumni Association and Illinois State University's 93rd homecoming. Before we get further along, I'd like to acknowledge several people who are with us here today. First, President Timothy Flanagan, as well as his wife, Dr. Nancy Flanagan, who is in the back with her grandkids. President Emeritus Al Bowman and Linda Bowman. President Emeritus David Strand and his wife, Trudy Strand. Members of the Board of Trustees, Betty Kinzer and Aaron Von Qualen. Other university leaders with us here today include Provost and Vice President Sherry Noren Everts, Vice Presidents Aaron Monet, Dan Lazell, and Larry Dietz. Athletic Director Larry Lyons. Deans from each of our colleges, as well as members of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, and the Foundation Board. It's now my pleasure to welcome the newest member of our Illinois State family. Dr. Timothy Flanagan was appointed the 18th president of Illinois State University on May 10th of this year. The former president of Framingham State University near Boston, Dr. Flanagan has a successful history in leading universities. His accomplishments at Framingham State include creating academic programs in science, technology, engineering and mathematics education, nursing, environmental science, criminology, and an MBA program. During his 7-year tenure there, he also secured $175 million in capital investment and established record-setting levels of fundraising and private support. He launched the first comprehensive fundraising campaign in the university's history. His spouse, Nancy, holds a PhD in nursing and is already very active on campus and in our community. They have 2 children and 4 grandchildren. Please give us a very warm welcome to the 18th president of Illinois State University, Dr. Timothy Flanagan.
Thank you, R.C. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, and thanks so much for being here. It is a pleasure to see so many returning alumni and supporters of the university in one place. And it is gratifying that observe the 150th anniversary of the Alumni Association. Surely it must be one of the oldest alumni associations in the country, certainly a large and vibrant one, representing 190,000 alumni of this great university who have scattered throughout the state and throughout the nation, indeed across the entire globe, doing great things in their communities and reflecting very positively on Illinois State University. So for everyone in the room who's a member of any of the graduating classes, a member of the Alumni Association, congratulations and thanks to all of you. Give yourself a hand of applause. I'm very grateful to be in the presence of President Emeritus Bowman and President Emeritus Strand. Thank you so much for everything that you've done on behalf of this university. I can't tell you how grateful I am. In fact, I mentioned to somebody the other day that I call up Al Bowman every other week and take him out to lunch just to say thank you for handing over the keys to such a wonderful institution. And this is an institution that's grown so much and so definitively in so many positive ways over the last 10, 15 years. It is truly a great public university, and it's indeed an honor to be the president of Illinois State University at this point in its history. I do want to introduce my two grandchildren who are with us today. Ryan Patrick Flanagan is in the back, and Lindsay Grace Flanagan with my wife, Nancy. Hi, Lynn. Ryan and Lindsay are visiting us from the Denver area, and they're going to be with us for a couple of days, and we're really enjoying seeing them. And they're going to be joined this evening by our two Chicago area grandchildren, Nathan and Sarah, who are going to be joining us for the weekend too. We told them that Reggie the Redbird was going to be around all weekend, and they're very excited about meeting Reggie and participating in all the homecoming events. For those of you who come every year or periodically come back for homecoming, perhaps every year you come back, you see new improvements to the campus, new developments, new academic programs, new buildings, and so forth. I certainly hope that you will have the opportunity to see Hancock Stadium, the wonderful renovation that was just dedicated a week and a half ago. And the site of another home victory for us tomorrow afternoon. It is a tremendous edifice, and what a great welcoming addition to the landscape of the town of Normal as you come down Main Street. And so I want to congratulate everyone from Dr. Bowman, who had the foresight to say yes to the project, to everybody that made it happen. It's just a wonderful symbolic representation and a wonderful way for us as a university and the town of Normal to say welcome to people as they join the community. And so that's something new and different. We have a new and different president this year. We're very pleased to be here. By the time that you come back next year, we hope that the planning will be well underway, near completion, and the construction schedule put together for a new $54 million fine arts building that we've been patiently waiting for 7 or 8 years. Thank you. Certainly much needed, long overdue. We've been waiting our turn for a long time, and we look forward to that new fine arts complex that'll serve the campus and serve it well. Also, by this time next fall, we'll be having the grand opening for a new university galleries that will be located in Uptown Normal. Again, another great example of collaboration and a really beneficial partnership that exists between the town of Normal and Illinois State University. We're very, very proud of that relationship, one that is very important to the university. It is often not the case that there's a harmonious relationship between a big public university with 18,000 plus undergraduate students and its community. Oftentimes, town-gown relationships are more antagonistic than they are collegial, but we enjoy a tremendous relationship and a great partnership, and the university galleries are just another expression of that. And so I want to, on behalf of everybody in the university, thank the leaders of the town of Normal for everything that they do for the university as well. Nancy and I spent a considerable amount of time over the last couple of weeks getting to know people. I can't tell you how much we appreciate the warmth and hospitality that we have received from everyone that we've met in the Bloomington Normal area. There's actually one exception to that. We met a grouchy old guy on the golf course the week before last. But one guy, the exception that proves it's the exception that proves the rule. The only grouchy person that we met in Bloomington Normal was on the 7th hole of the golf course on a Sunday morning. And we just let him play through, and he was fine. But as far as I can tell, he's the only grouchy person in Bloomington Normal we met. Otherwise, people have been wonderful. They've been really, really nice. and we've really enjoyed becoming a member of the community as well. You may have already read that our fall enrollment is 20,272 students, so we've topped 20,000 again. And the academic quality and the diversity of the incoming freshman class was, again, a great reflection on what a fine university this has become. Some of you may not know this, but three of our top 5 competitor schools, that is the schools to which students apply when they also apply to Illinois State, are flagship universities in their respective states. 3 of our 5 top competitors are the University of Illinois, University of Missouri, and the University of Iowa. So we are competing in a very, very, very nice neighborhood, if you will, with some top-rated schools, and we're going to have to learn as an institution how to do that, how to make sure that we compete effectively for the kinds of students that we want, and the students that we're attracting to the university are very, very capable students. And this year, we're also gratified that they're a much more diverse class than they have in the history of the university. So we're doing really well, and we're going to have to work double time to keep up the pace of progress that we've seen over the last 10 to 12 years. We're beginning to be recognized nationally. Once again, we're on the list of the top 100 public universities in America in U.S. News and World Report. Also recognized as among the top 50 by Washington Monthly rankings for quality and value of public universities nationwide. And so other people are beginning to appreciate and understand and recognize the very fine academic reputation that is Illinois State University. Now, most of you may not think of yourself in this way, but those of you who are in this room and who are alums of this university, you're responsible for this. You are responsible for this wonderful reputation that this university enjoys. A very wise person once wrote that in the life cycle and the history of academic institutions, that the reputation of an academic institution is initially established by the quality of the faculty. That is, the faculty who teach there. And then in the midterm cycle, after a few years, the quality of the university is cemented by the quality of the students that go there. And so the universities that attract the best students are the ones that have the best academic reputation. But in the long run, the reputation of any academic institution is a function of its alumni. What people who have graduated from that institution do when they go out into the world, into their communities as citizens and as leaders and so forth. And that's what really reinforces and makes even more important the academic reputation of any institution. And so for those of you who are alums of this great university, it is because of your achievements and it is because of your life adventures since you left Illinois State University that we enjoy such a great reputation today. So thank you, each one of you who are alums, for that. We really appreciate it. Now, because you're here today, you already have a great sense of attachment to this university, and we really appreciate that. I have long thought that the 3 most important things that any alumnus can do for his or her alma mater are as follows. Number 1, the single most important thing that you can do as an alumnus of Illinois State University is to speak well of your alma mater. Be proud of your alma mater and tell people about it. You will be surprised how influential you are in your communities and your families and so forth. And when you speak well of this institution and your experience at this institution, it goes a long way to making an impression on prospective students and families and companies and so forth about the quality of the institution that we have here. So do that. Speak well and speak often of your alma mater. Secondly, those of you who are in a position to make opportunities available for our current students and for other alums, do so. Those networks, those alumni networks, are incredibly important to the success of young people today. And so if you're in a position that you're looking at resumes and going to play a role in hiring somebody in a company or an organization and so forth, you see a resume come across your desk from Illinois State University, give it another look. I know you already do that, but those kinds of effective alumni connections are incredibly important in terms of creating opportunities for our current students and for younger alumni. So if you're in a position to open a door for a fellow Redbird, open that door and make that happen. Finally, for those of you who have reached a position in life where you have a capacity to give back to your university, it has never been more important. Never been more important. As we begin to really put strains on family budgets and so forth with the cost of higher education, our ability to provide scholarships to students, to bring down the price of education, to make this fine university available to more and more students could not be more important. And for that, I want to thank each and every person in this room who's been generous in supporting the university financially, whether it's a small amount of money, whether it's a large amount of money, whether you just started donating last year, or whether you've been giving to this university for 35, 40, 50 years. We appreciate your financial support, and you need to know that it translates directly into educational opportunity for today's students. So thank you for everything that you do on behalf of Illinois State. We are very, very pleased that you're joining us for Homecoming Week. Go Redbirds. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Flanagan. And I will say that my mood improved considerably after you let me play through. We are very pleased to also recognize our alumni homecoming king and queen. To help me do that, I have the great pleasure of welcoming to the podium Jerry Kerber. Jerry earned his bachelor's degree in agriculture from Illinois State in 1974. He's currently vice president at First Farmers State Bank in Bloomington. As an alumnus of Illinois State, he has served as president of the very active Agriculture Alumni Association. He's an avid supporter of Redbird athletics, and he joined the Alumni Association Board of Directors in 2007. He was elected president of the Alumni Association this past June. Please join me with a warm welcome for Alumni Association President Jerry Kerber.
Thank you, R.C. Homecoming is always a special time at Illinois State University, as we all know. It's a great time. This year holds a little special meaning to it. It's a pleasure to be here today with you to kick off a wonderful weekend filled with celebrations. This year's alumni program will acknowledge outstanding alumni representing every college within the university. And we will also celebrate 150th anniversary of the Alumni Association. Since 1863, we are fortunate to have shared a common passion, a passion for this amazing university that continues to foster the best and brightest in its students, faculty, staff, and alumni. Part of our homecoming tradition here at Illinois State is to crown our alumni queen and king. At this time, I would like to introduce fellow Alumni Association board member and homecoming chair, Linda Yap, as well as our 2013 alumni queen and king, Lois Young and Andrew Purnell. Lois Young graduated from Illinois State in 1960 with a Bachelor of Science in Education degree in Home Economics from the College of Applied Science and Technology. Lois has been a dedicated volunteer to the Alumni Association for many years. She is an active member of the Half Century Club Steering Committee and a member of the Family Consumer Sciences Professionals of McLean County. For many consecutive years, Lois has coordinated a gathering of alumni from the early 60s who lived together in Fell Hall. And I've met several of them here today to share this with her. Lois is a retired teaching assistant for Unit 5 schools in Normal. Andrew Purnell graduated from Illinois State in 1957 with a bachelor's degree in mathematics education as a member of ISU's Centennial class. After serving in the military, he used his degree to become a revered teacher and school administrator. He is now retired from the Community High School District 218. Andrew has served the university in many ways. He has been a member of the ISU Alumni Association Board of Directors and an original organizer of the ISU Black Colleagues Association. He has served in numerous leadership roles with the Black Colleagues Association and was instrumental in the creation of ISU BCA scholarship programs, which continue toward scholarship to African American students at ISU each year. In 2008, he was a recipient of the E. Burton Mercier Alumni Service Award, which recognizes outstanding service to Illinois State University, to the ISU Alumni Association, or to humanity. It is now my privilege to crown Lois Young and Andrew Purnell as the 2013 Alumni Homecoming Queen and King.
Thank you again, Jerry, and congratulations to Lois and Andrew. At this time, we would like to formally recognize each of our Alumni Day honorees. These alumni, who represent all of the colleges that comprise Illinois State University, are active in many ways, from volunteering their time to conduct guest lectures, to providing internship opportunities to students, to mentoring students, to serving on advisory boards. They've made significant contributions to their chosen professions and have distinguished themselves in their respective fields. Today, we recognize their dedication to Illinois State University. We will announce guests by college or unit, asking that each Alumni Day honoree stand and be recognized, but please hold your applause until all of the guests within each group are standing. We will begin with representatives from athletics. Our Athletics Percy Family Hall of Fame honorees for this year include Jill Hollenbeek, 91, MS 03. Nicole Kurth Duncheon, 02, MS 09. Tom Sipula, 92. Stacy Stewart, 90, MS 92. And Sam Young, 01. Please join me in acknowledging our appreciation. Now from the College of Applied Science and Technology. First in agriculture, Jim Keene, 84. Criminal Justice Sciences, Garrett Anderson, 10. And Chris Miller, 04, MS 05. From Family and Consumer Sciences, Emily Grambo, 11. And Erica Lee, 99. From Health Sciences, Adam Dotson, 95. And Janelle Durdal, 85. Gretchen Getz, 12. Thomas Hebner, 08, and Cheryl West, 74. From the School of Information Technology, Catherine Haley, 79, and Doug Minter, 82, MBA, 90. From the School of Kinesiology and Recreation, Tiffany Despain, 97, Kay Wirtz, 84, MS 93. And from Technology, William Burfine IV, 95, and Shannon Fulton, 92, MS 97, and 11. Please join me in recognizing the alumni from the College of Applied Science and Technology. And now from the College of Arts and Sciences. In chemistry, Thomas Devaney, 87. In communication, Steve Brown, 72, MA 73. Communication Sciences and Disorders, Jin Ho Kang, 06. Economics, Edward Jertson II, 89. In English, Shakita Brown, 2000, MS, 07. Geography, Geology, Eric Miller, 89. History, Lisa Castleman, 96, and Christopher Phillips, MA, 86. In Language, Literatures, and Cultures, Sabina Maggio, 02, MA, 06. In Philosophy, Mike Matika, 74, Brooks Robinson, 12. Physics, Ryan Balfans, 07. Frank Borth III, 93. And Rebecca Vieira, 07. Politics and Government, Andrew Bender, 98. Eric Elk, 94. Michael Evans, 04. And Larry Williams, 77, MS, 79. In Psychology, Joseph Gentry, 01, PhD, 06. Patrick Raymark, MS, 89. In Sociology and Anthropology, Tawana Hines, 98. And in the Stevenson Center for Economic Development, Victor Schrader, MS, 10. Please join me in recognizing the alumni from College of Arts and Sciences. From the College of Business, our Early Career Achievement Award honorees, Oscar Bieza, 96, Paris Blaylock, 99, Dominic Bruno, 02, Martin Franke, 01, Amanda Giles, 02, Audrey Hahn, BS, MPA 08, MBA 09, John Hill, 11, Kristen Kanaki, 10, Amanda Lubko, 08, Sarah Odie, 97, and Kevin Volk, 07. Please join me in acknowledging our appreciation for these Early Career Achievement Award honorees from the College of Business. Now from the College of Education, the 2013 Hall of Fame honorees, Lori Campbell, 90, Greg Gardner, 91, Lois Gaston, PhD, 84, Molly Herman, 05 and 07, with an MSc in 09, Megan Jensen, 03, MS, 11, Rebecca Mullen, 05, MSc in 10, Teresa Thompson, 78, MSc, 87, and Beverly Trazik, 87. In Special Education, Jennifer Ballman, MSc 01, Jamie Corcoran, 04, MSc 12, Casey Pico, MS 10. In Teaching and Learning, Lonnie Fazio, 06, Jennifer McCoy, 95, MSc 12. Join me in acknowledging the alumni from the College of Education. From the College of Fine Arts, first the School of Art, Teresa Parker, 85, MFA, 87. Philip Turner, MS, 86. In Arts Technology, Chad O'Donnell, 2000, MS, 02. School of Music, Dan Dietrich, 77, MME, 85. Frank Payton, 77, BME, 79. And from the School of Theater and Dance, Mark Katzer, 88, and Jeffrey Comic, 09. Join me in recognizing our alumni in the College of Fine Arts. Now for our honors program. Matt Busson, 2000. From Mennonite College of Nursing, Marietta Brandt, 51, and Sarah Lindsay, 2000. And from Milner Library, Chris Bone, 84, MSE, 91. Thank you again to all of our Alumni Day guests for honoring us with your presence today, and we greatly appreciate your continued commitment to Illinois State. One more round of applause for all of our honorees. And now we come to the time of the program where we can reflect back on the 150-year history of the Illinois State University Alumni Association. To take us on this journey through time, please join me in welcoming current theater student and soon-to-be alumnus Andrew Regalny as we explore the last 150 years together. Andrew?
Thank you, RC. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need you to fasten your seatbelts because we are going to take a trip into ISU past. Today, we will look back on 5 of the biggest moments in ISU history, and we're going to do it in about 20 minutes. Are you ready? Well, thank you. Well, there's no better place than to start from the beginning, right? So let's travel back to when John W. Cook witnessed the start of a very important institution. Mr. Cook graduated from Illinois State Normal University in 1865 and then went on to teach history, geography, reading, and mathematics at his alma mater. He also served as head of the mathematics department for 14 years. After his career teaching, he became Illinois State Normal University's 4th president, serving in that position for 9 years. And right now, John W. Cook is going to give us the inside scoop on the very beginnings of the Alumni Association.
In June 1863, I sat an intensely interested spectator at the normal commencement. I had been a student in the institution for 1 year, and had regarded Section A as a superior sort of people. My interest in them was no sense diminished by the conspicuous part they played on that occasion. At the close of the exercises, Dr. Edwards announced that the alumni would meet in Wrightington Hall, and the happy 7, who had been in the focus of the public gaze for 3 or 4 hours, filed into the society room, and closing the door shut on the inquisitive eye of at least one yearling. That was the first time I had heard of the Normal Alumni Association. The succeeding year, the scene was reenacted, and 1 year later, in 1865, I, in common with my classmates, accepted the president's invitation. We found a dozen or 15 of our 41 predecessors. They received us with great cordiality and with many congratulations, and after a social meeting of about an hour, we adjourned to receive the compliments of our admiring friends. It will be seen that the Alumni Association has not, as of yet, a very thorough organization nor a definitive purpose. A few years later, 2 or 3 perhaps, the plan of a private business meeting and a banquet in the afternoon and public exercises in the evening on the day preceding commencement became the settled policy of the association. By that time, it had been customary for the literacy societies to employ some lecturer of national reputation to deliver a public address upon that evening. The new arrangement dropped into place very naturally. The plan was followed more or less faithfully until 1880, when the charge in the school calendar made the annual commencement occur in May. It made possible to secure full attendance. About 1870, an attempt was made to raise permanent alumni funds, but only 2 or 3 classes took any interest in the matter, and the scheme was abandoned. At each session of the legislature, the institution was obliged to encounter more or less hostility to its appropriation bills. A stock argument employed by our enemies was the charge that graduates did not teach. The association determined to settle the question. To this end, the Constitution was so amended as to provide an additional officer, a corresponding secretary, whose duty it should be to communicate annually with the alumni and to keep record of their work. I undertook that task in 1876. Needless to say, the charge that graduates did not teach has been abandoned.
And so, the Alumni Association was born. Advocacy was then and always will be an integral part of the Alumni Association. Did you all catch that 150 years ago, educational funding was still a hot topic? Well, some things never change, I guess. Luckily, our alumni were there to save the day. The alumni stepped up for a university that they greatly believed in, a university that they greatly identified with. A few of the ways that we identify through our school is through athletic teams, by wearing colors, cheering, rooting it on through thick and thin, and of course, the mascot leads the way. How often do you all refer to yourselves as Redbirds? No one? Anyone? Come on. There we go. Where did Reggie the Redbird even come from? Well, as it happens, there's a story there too.
If Clifford E. Pop Horton or the Vedette headline writers had been in a different mood in the winter of 1927 when the Redbirds' nickname was hatched. Yeah, I know. Illinois State could have ended up with a very different rallying cry. In 1909, the Daily Pantagraph used the nickname Teachers. And sometimes the teams were even referred to as the pedagogues. How does "Go you pedagogues into battle" sound?
Not good.
Hey, there you go. All right. Man, that was awesome. So back to what I was saying. Illinois State teams were referred to as the Fighting Teachers until the mid-1920s when, I know, isn't that terrible? Don't cry, man, I'm sorry. Until the mid-1920s when Horton began using the name Cardinals because of the school colors. We're getting close here. As the story goes, the Daily Pantagraph ignored the new name to avoid confusion with the St. Louis Cardinals, and by January of 1927, the Vedette was calling the basketball team the Redbirds. Yeah! Awesome. That name soon appeared in the Daily Pantagraph. In the mid to late 1960s, the Redbird Rooters sponsored a human-sized Redbird mascot for football games. Hold on. A student wore the mascot costume, which didn't have a bird head, but just a bird body and feet. At homecoming 1969, another person-sized Redbird costume was made. The suit was red-painted canvas with red feathers glued on and a papier-mâché head, with a nose that kept getting knocked off. The next bird in the 1970s was a strange-looking one. There was a problem with the suit molting all the time. They wouldn't allow it on the floor at DePaul University, an alumnus remembers. The year 1981 was a big one for the Illinois State University's Redbird mascot. That year, the university began competing in the Missouri Valley State Conference. And in the fall, the bird got a new, spiffier suit and the name Reggie. Woo! There you go. Go you Redbirds. We've got the fight, we've got the might. Much better than, go you pedagogues, we've got the perspicacity, right? Yeah.
Right. There we go. Reggie Redbird, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Reggie really does identify both current students and alumni, and having this big bird on our side helps smooth over one particular transition. When our university went through a bit of an identity crisis, we decided to change our name. Yeah, I'm talking about the normal part of our name. Should it stay or should it go? It turned into quite a spirited debate as alumni wrote letters to the editor of the Vedette on both sides. Let's listen to some of the pros and cons of changing ISNU to ISU.
Dear editor, you've got trouble in this here school. Trouble, I say. Trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for progress. Do you realize that in this ancient and beloved place, this tradition-blessed cradle of minds who someday shall gladly go out into the state and teach, there is lurching, a creeping, sneaky beast, a corrupter of all that is traditional and beloved and God-given and good. An organized movement which is trying to change the name of our dear school. Your school. Your alma mater, your home away from home, your lovely little institution on this consecrated dry land in the pretty little city of Normal, in the rich, fertile soils of McLean County, in the greatest of all great states, the land of Lincoln. Yeah, whatever would honest Abe say? Why, he'd turn over in his grave. They want to change the name, the symbol of your school's existence, the title by which good folks have known this place for generations the world over. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, consider this for a moment. Do you realize what this means? Do you feel it in your hearts? If you allow this first dreadful change, this first sign of progress, let me assure you, more changes will sneak in just as this one. And those new changes will not only be as bad, but worse. Think of those poor little children you will be teaching. Those innocent, precious little lambs who will look to you as a guide for all that they do. You will be murdering their minds with these horrible distortions you will learn in this infested school. You and they will be sacrifices to progress. Oh, no, ladies and gentlemen, don't let progress show its ugly teeth here. Resist change. I beg you, resist it. Look around you. You see the wretched results of progress? Can you still buy an ice cream cone for a nickel? No. Is it safe to walk the city streets at night? No. No! Do presidents ever come from log cabins like our Abe nowadays? Nevermore. Yes, nevermore, my dear friends. Those grand old days are gone, but not forgotten. Keep their memory rich. Don't let it happen here. Hang on to what you know is good. You are good people, the salt of the earth, and this is one of the finest schools of the land. For your own sakes, unite and be firm, and with the help of the name Normal, you shall conquer the world. Signed, Judith Swanson.
Dear editor, being a former editor of the Vedette and a graduate of Illinois State, I receive and take great interest in this newspaper. I also take a great interest in the happenings at the university, and I'm pleased to see that so many of our students are being informed about the name change issue. However, it distresses me to see that the people who are against such a change base their reasonings on the tired old word, tradition. A school must maintain tradition, yes, but when this tradition becomes detrimental to the welfare of its scholars, no. It should not be allowed to exist. Let us maintain tradition with the Dome of Old Main, placed stolidly on the campus for all to see. The dome can cause our students no harm. Let us even maintain tradition with the more aged faculty and administrative who seem to have come with Old Main and who seem not to realize that the sprawling, thronged university of today is not their same old beloved normal of yesteryear. Let us not keep her girdled with a name which no longer befits her purposes and achievements. Give her students a chance to hold their heads up, and when they say her name, a chance to be proud of the name in the same way they are proud of the school, and above all, give her graduates an equal chance with other universities to obtain the choicest jobs with the choicest salaries. Do not forbid this to them merely because hiring administrators do not want teachers with Illinois normal school backgrounds. Give to a school which has achieved greatness in scholarship, greatness in faculty achievements, and greatness in growth and strength, the greatness of a name which she deserves. Illinois State University. This is a name we can all be proud of. Signed, Bonnie L. Sims.
Aww. Well, things haven't changed that much. Sure, a mascot, a name, but what's in a name? When you get down to it, what we stand for, whether we were students 150 years ago or today, is the same. We are proud of our university, and we stand up for what we believe in. Thank you. We also make friends. Part of college is being collegial, right? Camaraderie, making friends, lifelong friends. And one of my favorite aspects of college has always been the social side. A dance, a party, late night at the Bone. How about football games, yeah? These experiences will stay with you long after you leave Normal, Illinois, and really, it's always been that way. To show you how not so different we are from our pasts, here's a letter Fiona is going to share from 1959, and my friend Abby reading an email that she recently sent.
Dear Mom, I am having a wonderful time.
School is great.
My professors are very intelligent and knowledgeable. My classes are hard, yes, but I am enjoying them nonetheless. Keep your fingers crossed I pass.
I don't know what to say about my classes. OMG, so much harder than high school, but cool too. I mean, I like what I'm studying and I feel like I'm learning a lot. Fingers crossed I pass.
I just got back from a pizza party in a room down the hall. Everyone is so friendly and helpful. My room is lovely. I'd love for you to visit me sometime. It would be swell to see your smiling faces and show you my beautiful new surroundings.
Last night, a group of us went out to Maggie Miley's. It was really fun. I know you're planning on coming to visit, but please let me know when. My apartment is a mess, and I will want to make sure I clean it.
Thursday, there is a watermelon picnic, and at night, a church meeting. Saturday, there are movies and an all-school mixer. Last week, the movie my roommate Susie and I saw was The Nun Story. Have you heard of that movie? It was very good.
Not really sure what my plans are for the weekend. My friend Susanna is celebrating her birthday, so I'm sure we'll party at least a little. And don't worry, I'll get my homework done too. Oh, Suze wants to see Insidious Chapter 2 for her birthday? I don't know. Kind of creepy.
The food is... oh dear. But I don't have to worry because my closet is stocked with food. My clothes are still too tight. Oh well.
I ate lunch at Watterson today. The food was amazing. Seriously, I wish it had been that good when I was in the dorms. My clothes are still too tight. Oh well.
I'll write when I can. You can write to me also. Don't forget.
I'll Skype you later tonight when I have a chance. Text me if anything important happens, okay? You don't have to wait for email or the phone. Talk to you soon. Love you.
I'll say it again, some things never change. It's true, though. Your Alumni Association does change as it moves into the future to help you stay connected to the people and places that hopefully made your years as a Redbird truly special. I encourage you to keep involved and keep Illinois State a part of your life by finding opportunities to network with those who share your Redbird pride. I also hope you accept our invitation to come back to campus anytime and join us for special celebrations like homecoming, and that many of our other alumni events hosted locally and across the country. And we're counting on you to share your Illinois State story with the people that you encounter every day. Tell others about our high-quality academics, research, and service, and share your experiences here and invite them to become involved too. And as you move forward, please know that our ability to thrive, to keep ISU as great as it always has been, depends on your continued support. And now, we're going to celebrate our Redbird pride one more time. We're going to close by singing the university hymn. And I need you to help it sound the way it should. So if you'll all stand up, please, graduates, family and friends, faculty and staff, as we share what Illinois State University means to us all by singing the university hymn.
Glory hast thou, might and power, proud the halls of ISU. Deeds that live in song and story, loyal sons and daughters true. So shalt thou in years increasing send thy grads of honest worth forth to bear with zeal unceasing wisdom's torch throughout the earth. Forth to bear with zeal unceasing wisdom's torch throughout the earth.
Thank you, everybody. Nice job. And thank you for joining us on this special day. Have a great homecoming weekend, and go Redbirds!
Wow. Extremely impressive. Thank you again to our talented students and alumni. One more round of applause to the members of the School of Theater and Dance. Also, we want to thank our friends at University Archives, to Reggie, and of course, the cheerleaders and everyone who helped make this event happen, and for reminding us of the great pride that we all take in calling ourselves Redbirds. As you leave today, take a moment, please, and stop by the display prepared by our university archivist, April Anderson. There's some fantastic stuff back there. She and her staff do a wonderful job. Don't forget to check out IllinoisStateHomecoming.com for photos and videos from this exciting week. Thank you again for coming. Please enjoy the rest of the homecoming facilities. Have a great afternoon, and go Redbirds.